Hi, Professor Hartman. So this is for the self-awareness assignment. So self-awareness is very important for students to learn. I feel it's important for all students to learn, not just those with special behavioral needs. But it's a way for them to work to improve their behavior, become self-aware of their behaviors and their thoughts and feelings, and so that they can learn appropriate times to engage coping skills that will help to improve their behavior. So in this assignment, I'm going to discuss one way to help students self-monitor to meet a specific goal. So the goal in the assignment is given a self-management recording system. The student will demonstrate the ability to accurately recognize his or her level of anxiety through the use of a visual self-rating system with 80% accuracy as compared to teacher observations. Mastery is achieved when both student and teacher agree 80% of the time across 10 data collection periods. So for a student to monitor their anxiety level, they're going to need some kind of cue as to when it's time to note what that anxiety level is. So I have an example. I have this little bell that I could ring throughout the day. Now this is talking about 10 collection periods. So 10 collection periods could be 10 classroom periods, 10 days. So if I'm going to assume that it's 10 days, I would ring this a certain number of times or when I feel it's appropriate throughout the day, just kind of quietly and discreetly, and as quiet as a bell can be. And that would signal to the student that they need to think about their anxiety level and track it, make note of it. So I made this anxiety thermometer, if you can see, and it has 3 levels. I tried to keep it simple: calm, a little anxious, and very anxious. And I kind of put these cute emojis to help the student identify what where they're falling at the time of rating. But then I would give them instructions as to how to complete this. We would review this together. I would tell them, what they need to do when they hear the bell or whatever sound I'm going to use. They make a little tick mark in the box that corresponds with how they are feeling at that time. We would also talk about how to identify how they're feeling at that time. When are they anxious? How do they feel when they're anxious? What signals are there with their body? And also a little anxious. What does that mean? What does calm mean? How do they know that they're calm? So we would talk about that first, especially for the younger students who maybe aren't quite sure what these things mean. So the student would fill one out throughout the day. Here's an example. Hopefully you can see my pencil marks. But the student's name is Matthew. I had to pick my son's name. And here's some tick marks made throughout the day. So there's 5 under very anxious, 3 under a little anxious, and 3 under calm. So 11 times throughout the day, I rang the bell, and then Matthew marked how he was feeling. So throughout the day, I also marked my observations of how I thought Matthew was feeling or how he was doing at the time. So I have also 11 markings for that same day, 4 for very anxious, 3 for a little anxious, and 4 for calm. So at the end of the day, I'll collect Matthew's anxiety thermometer. I will compare it to mine, and I made this chart. Now this is already completed as if the 10 collection periods had passed. But what I will do is every day, it might look backwards too, I'm not sure, but every day I will fill this in. This was like an Excel add-in in PowerPoint. And it shows the collection period 1 through 10, the number of times student was anxious, well, actually very anxious. I'm going to just track on this when they were at the red top of the chart level, very anxious. And so say for day 1 or collection period 1, Matthew had 5 times he was very anxious. Mrs. Gring observed the red bar shows that that I observed that Matthew was anxious 5 times. So you can see, since the bars meet, that we agreed fully. Now, for the majority of days, it looks like we did agree fully. There's a couple days or collection periods, the 4th one and the 5th one, where we were a little different. Here on the 4th collection, during the 4th collection period, Matthew showed he was very anxious 5 times. I observed that he was very anxious 4 times. So, and similar with collection period 5. So overall, it appears that Matthew did a very good job showing that he can be self-aware and assessing his anxiety level. So this chart is good for showing Matthew's anxiety level. You can see sometimes, 6 times a day, it's pretty high, but then there was days where it wasn't so bad, and kind of tracking that. But also, since we agreed 8 out of the 10 collection periods, which would be 80% of the time, it shows that Matthew did achieve the goal that was set. So I think this is a really simple, easy way to have the students track their feelings, track their behaviors, become more self-aware, know their thoughts and feelings. And after we do this for, say, 10 collection periods, I'm thinking it would be nice to talk to the students about coping skills, which I'm sure we've done prior to this exercise, but we could talk more about coping skills. Maybe we could even, the students could even write down some that they think work for them or things that they want to try, so that when they mark that they're very anxious, we could note somewhere, you might take deep breaths, maybe take a break, go get a drink, something like that, ask for help. But to try to help them use this even further to try to improve their behavior and how they're feeling in the classroom. If they're feeling very anxious, they're not going to do well academically. They're not going to feel comfortable at all, and we want them to feel comfortable and confident. So, all right. Well, thank you. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you soon.